AI Audio Assistant is one of the coolest features to come out of Davinci Resolve 20 Beta 1, and I downloaded it, installed it, tested it out, and in today's video, I'm going to show you AI Audio Assistant in action. So welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. I'm John, and I'm going to be your tour guide for AI Audio Assistant. If you're watching this in the future, remember this is the Beta 1 version of Davinci Resolve 20, so there's some gotchas. There's some workarounds, there's some gotta know it before you start it sort of things, and I'm gonna explain all that to you in this video. Now, let's jump into Davinci Resolve and I'll show you what we're working with. Here I have my timeline, and you can see I've got a few other timelines. I've been playing around with this thing for hours, figuring out how it works. Now, here's our timeline. It's edited, I've done my sound design, minus the mixing. AI Audio Assistant is supposed to do the dialogue leveling and the mixing, so different track levels, and it's supposed to do ducking and some other things. We're going to take a look at all that in just a moment, but this is my timeline. I've got my 4 tracks. I have 2 audio tracks that are dialogue, and then one that's music, and then one that is sound effects. The gotcha here is that my voice track is on bike audio, so it's me riding my motorcycle down the road, and it is not clean audio. So it's kind of a worst case scenario for AI Audio Assistant. This is an extreme test. It's also a lot of fun. So let's first, we want to right click on our timeline and come down and duplicate timeline. They said in the preview that you could reverse the changes. You could undo what AI Audio Assistant does, but it doesn't revert your track colors, and it doesn't fix a couple other things. So just to make sure everything's clean and clear, make a duplicate, save yourself the effort. I have gone back in and had to undo everything manually. Anyway, moving on. Now we have a duplicate. We're good to go with our original baseline. So before we run AI Audio Assistant, let me play back just a quick section here, and you'll notice,
fresh off the break-in period,
that there's no ducking, no volume leveling or anything on there. That's what it sounds like before. So what we're gonna do first, and this is the first gotcha, is we're gonna come over to the Fairlight tab, and we've got our 4 tracks here. And if I expand them, this is important just for a demo, just to show you that stuff's working. I'm gonna right click over here on the track, and I'm gonna come down to track category, and I'm gonna change it to dialogue. If I don't do this, then AI Audio Assistant will not pick up that on-bike audio is dialogue. If your dialogue's clean, you won't have a problem with this, I don't think, but just to be sure, you can categorize the tracks yourself. It's supposed to do it automatically, but it doesn't. It picks up some of them, so I'm gonna right-click on the next one and change that, rather, to dialogue, and then music. We're gonna change the track catalog to music, track category. Oh, I can't talk today. And then I'm going to change the track category to sound effects for sound effects, just making it easier. And you'll notice over here, there's no dynamics, no plugins, only one EQ, and that's on my Pocket 3 audio, and then my Bus 1 is up 3.5. So coming back to the edit page, we can right click, and you don't get the track category here. I thought I saw it at one point, but it's not there. So now we're prepped to run the AI Audio Assistant. So for that, we come up to Timeline, AI Tools, Audio Assistant. And the interface is simple, but the results are complex. If you drop down Delivery Standard, you'll see it's got a lot of broadcast standards, then Netflix, YouTube, and Disney. We want YouTube, so now we're gonna click Auto Mix. And it's gonna go through and it's gonna classify the tracks, it's gonna create other tracks, it's gonna change the track color, which I think is pretty cool. It kind of says it classifies everything, you know, it's making that classification very clear to you. Then it's going to mix the dialogue and the music, and I'm reading off the screen. Why not? I don't run with a script here. I don't have a teleprompter. And then it's going to go in and do the SFX, your sound effects and ambiance or ambience, if you like. And then it's going to do a final master, the speed of which all of this is based on your computer. Right now, it's using a little bit of my computer, not a whole lot. But it takes time, and it's going to read all the files off the disk, so it's probably SSD speed dependent in my case. And now it's done, let's take a look. And if you noticed, there was an Audio 5 track here during that sped up playback. I did speed it up, but we can already tell that the audio is different here. It has completely replaced my audio with its own. Now, if I zoom in a little bit and we come over here, we can see a few clips. First thing I noticed was when I click on an individual clip, see my volume is minus 8.4. Here it's minus 9.8, minus 7.7. So it's done the dialogue leveling there, and it's going to be 0 here. This is just a basic thing. But voice and off bike are both dialogue tracks, and then music is now orange, and sound effects is purple. And then if you zoom in real close, you can see that it's added crossovers on the audio. So we've got that. And then you'll notice that there are now effects applied to each track. So let's go through those. Under voice, under audio in the inspector, if you don't see it, click inspector. It has AI voice isolation set to 70, a dialogue leveler with some settings. And then under effects, it added a de-esser. For off bike, it added the de-esser, and then it also added voice isolation and a dialogue leveler. For music, it didn't add anything, but sound effects, it added a ducker. That's pretty cool. And it's set with voice and off bike, and it's ducked to 4.5. And the higher the number, the more ducking. Under effects, it added a multi-band compressor. So that's pretty cool. And then finally, music. It went and did the same ducker, but it only ducked to 2.5, and it changed the volume levels of all these. So if I go back to voice, it's at 0, off bike 0, but it changed the track level for sound effects to minus 15. So it's trying to get all those levels just right. Let's take a listen. Let's go back to the start right here where we played this original clip.
Fresh off the break-in period.
That sounds a lot better, but I would prefer a little more ducking. We can change that. So we can go to the music track. We can click on it. We've got it right here. And then track levels minus 14, but our ducking, we can bump that all the way to about 6.2, 6.1. There it is. And we can play this section back again.
Fresh off the break-in period.
And there you have it. It did the job. Now, I did render out a few different test cases, and I sent it to a friend of mine via uploading on YouTube, because that's what I do. And he played them all back, and he said the secret sauce I was using, which is linked up here, did a slightly better job in certain circumstances. But for a lot of people, I think this is going to be 5 minutes well spent just running AI Audio Assistant and letting it handle your audio for you. I mean, how cool is that? It added the voice isolation and the de-esser and the compressors and limiters. Ooh, limiters. If we go to Fairlight, you can see that it added limiters in the dynamics. Yep, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, all this stuff is just applied, and it's got automation going on, and it's just a magical thing, isn't it? I gotta say, I'm really impressed with how well a job it does. So if you have questions, if you have comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, go watch this video and have a great day.